Hello everyone, this is Blake Katchur at Anglers All Fly Shop. Today we are going to discuss how to pack and what to pack for destination fly fishing trips to Patagonia, South America. All right, before we get into the gear, let's talk about the place. Patagonia is a region of South America that encompasses both Argentina and Chile. It's really the southern part of the South American continent. So when do we recommend you go to Patagonia, South America? The seasons down there are opposite of ours here in the States. So their season for fishing corresponds to our winter, which is a nice break from the snow and the ice that we are all buried in January, February. On the Argentina side, one of our favorite times of year to go to Rio Manso is the December, January timeframe. This is a great dry fly fishery, and that time frame can be awesome for dragonfly, dries, and big attractor patterns. And then we also recommend the February, early March time frame for Cinco Rios in Chile. This time again is really a great time to be down there for dry fly fishing and getting into streamer fishing there kind of late summer, early fall. So our Chilean location is at Cinco Rios Lodge in Coyhaique, Chile. If you look at a map, this is really in the bottom third of the country. It's really a great mix of mountains and pampas, kind of ranch country. One of the best parts about the Cinco Rios location is the amount of water that you have to fish. On the eastern side of the Andes, kind of in the plains, the pampas area, the ranch country, here you're going to be fishing mostly spring creeks. You've got clear, cold water, meandering streams passing through ranch country, and the dry fly, the technical dry fly fishing is about as good as it gets anywhere in the world. It will challenge you, the wind will blow, but it's a beautiful place to be. On the western side of the Andes, you'll be fishing glacial lakes and glacial fed rivers. These rivers run a short distance to the ocean, so they really offer a pretty diverse environment. Our location in Argentina is called Rio Manso Lodge. Rio Manso is located just outside of the city of Bariloche. This lodge is famous for being right on the Manso River, which is a free-flowing river that passes in and out of lakes. The ecology, the environment of this river system and the lakes attached to it offers some amazing dry fly fishing and for rainbows, browns, and brook trout. We focus on an early December time frame to catch the famous dragonfly hatch down there, where some of the largest fish in the system will come up for that big meal on the surface. Let's talk about flies, what you should bring and how you should bring them. We are fishing for trout down there, so a lot of the same rules apply for those trout anglers up here in the US. It's summertime down there. We're going to be fishing a lot of hoppers of various patterns. Caddis are fairly prolific down there. And then as we move through the dries, we're finding smaller and smaller mayfly patterns, PMDs, and all of the above, really. So packing a good all-around dry fly trout kit and corresponding nymphs and emergers can be super effective. And then on the extreme dry fly terrestrial side of things, both locations have kind of a special hatch that happen either every year or every other year. Argentina has this famous dragonfly hatch that happens late November, early December. Another one to take note of is every other year. So right now, even years on the Chilean side of Patagonia, we have what's called a Cantaria beetle hatch, where beetles in the fly size 2, 4, and 6 hatch on the western side of the Andes, and we fish dry flies in these big beetle patterns. Fish will come up and slurp those big beetles off the surface. It's pretty special. So how should we pack flies for a trip like this? In my experience, after a couple trips down to Cinco Rios, I kind of pack large and fish small, if you will. I'll pack with me down to the destination a larger fly box, like these boxes from Umpqua or Cliff. These hold a lot of flies. They keep things organized and protected on your way down to your destination. Another tip, definitely check flies down there, don't carry them on. So I'll take a box like this with me. This might even go in the guide's truck or in a boat bag with me on the floating days. But I'm taking flies out of here on a daily basis and really transferring them to something more like this. You can take this box or, you know, an Angler's All puck, let's say, stick this in your pocket with some tippet and a set of hemos, and you're really off and running. This rule also applies for streamers. You know, I'll bring a box down to Chile like this in a checked bag. This has got all my streamers in it, different weights, colors, sizes, and then I'll pack this with me on the boat, or I'll move flies out of here to a smaller box for the day's worth of fishing based on guides' recommendations on sizes and colors. Now that we've got flies covered, let's talk about lines, leaders, and tippet. We really recommend carrying 6 weights and up. The trout are big, the wind blows, and we find that a 6-weight rod gives you the power to cut through the wind, to deliver these larger flies, to fight these fish and potentially a fish of a lifetime. With that in mind, one of the most important lines to bring down there is a good weight forward floating line. I like these textured lines from Scientific Anglers. There's 2 tapers that I like a lot. Both of these lines are a little bit overweighted. That helps load your fast action 6-weight. The Anadro taper from SA is a great one. Long rear taper is going to give you a lot of control at distance. The Infinity taper, a newer one from SA, is also a beautiful choice. Great all around dry fly line. Both of these I like in the textured version. I find that the textured lines shoot a little further and faster, sit up a little higher in the water, and the durability is awesome. Another line or line category to really keep your eye on or put on your pack list is a sink tip line. Streamer fishing in Argentina and Chile can be fantastic, especially with a little cloud cover. For streamer setups, I'm fishing a 7-weight, fast action 7-weight, and 8-weight is not overkill. My favorite sink tip streamer line is going to be this Predator series from Rio, and they come in a variety of sink tip sink rates. My favorite down there is the Float Intermediate Sink 3. This gives you a lot of control. You're not sinking super fast. You can still fish shallow water, but you're gonna get in the zone really quickly. As far as leaders and tippet goes, I really like the Umpqua Perform-X leaders. I'm really packing down with me 9-foot leaders in the 1X to 3, maybe 4X range. You'll be making long casts and having that turnover taper on these leaders goes a long way. Another one to mention, I really like the Umpqua streamer leaders. These are a shorter, stouter leader. This leader going straight onto a sink tip is going to get that fly in the zone. As far as tippet goes, again, I'm a big fan of the Umpqua. This is what I've fished down there in the past. I'll pack 3, 4, and 5X nylon down there. This is really your sweet spot for your dry fly fishing. On the streamer side or nymphing side, the Umpqua Phantom X fluorocarbon tippet is my choice. I'll pack this in bigger sizes, 1, 2, and 3X for streamers. And if you are nymphing, this is a great option in your 4 and 5X. Next, let's talk about rods and reels. As I said before, fishing a 6-weight rod is really ideal down there. It's going to be your kind of your number one everyday dry fly rod. I prefer a rod with a fighting butt. I think it's a nice to have down there. You are going to be fighting fish that will give you a run for your money. My favorite rod to fish down there is an older Winston B3 Plus that's been replaced by the Alpha Plus, but a beautiful rod in a 6-weight handle, lots of wind, big fish, big flies. Another rod to definitely pack down there is a 7-weight. Your 7-weights are going to be used with sink tip fly lines or a floating streamer line. Some of my favorite 7-weights, Winston Alpha Plus, Sage Igniter, Scott Centric, the brand new Sage R8. Next, let's talk about reels. So reels are maybe more important down in Patagonia than they are here in the Western United States. When I say that, I'm really alluding to the drag on these reels. A lot of times you can get by with a fairly basic drag system for trout in the Western US, but I'll tell you from experience that the fish down in Chile will test the drag systems on your reels, and having a smooth disc drag, an adjustable drag, is going to be key to landing some of those fish down there. And right now I'm fishing a Bauer RVR. This reel has a sealed drag system, super smooth for those fish when they make a run, and lots of power to get them stopped. Next piece of gear on the list, waders and boots. As with a lot of trout fishing, you will find yourself knee deep in crystal clear water fishing down in Chile and Patagonia. The water's cold, and even though we might be talking about fishing in the summer down there, we highly recommend bringing a quality pair of waders and boots. You will basically be in your waders from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day while you're down there fishing. So the importance of a good, breathable, quality wader is key. I personally wear the Simms G4Z. I find the zipper a really nice bonus for getting in and out of and putting over jackets and layering pieces. As far as wading boots go, we recommend packing a rubber sole boot. It's the most versatile option down there. The G4 boots are also a favorite of mine. Very comfortable. I can wear them all day long, whether I'm hiking along a spring creek or in a boat, hopping out to fish a run. Here's a little pro tip on waders and boots while you're down there. There's a really good chance that your boots will not dry out from your last day of fishing to the day you travel home. Bring a trash bag, put those boots and waders in that trash bag so when it goes into your luggage, not everything smells like a river when you get home. Let's talk about layering and jackets, what to plan for while you're down there. The temperatures are gonna range anywhere from 50 to 75 degrees in both locations, Argentina and Chile, from late November to early March. The other thing to consider is that the air is always moving down there. The W word that we all joke about is a real thing in Patagonia, and it plays into how you should dress on your days out on the water. I'll usually start out with mid-layer or an insulating layer in the morning, something like a puffy jacket or a tough puff from Patagonia, and always pack a rain jacket. Having that in your bag for that rain squall that rolls up the valley is going to save you and keep you fishing all day long. My personal favorite right now is the Simms Flyweight. It's a Gore-Tex jacket. It packs up really tiny so I can put it in a boat bag and not worry about it taking up space. Next, let's talk about luggage and packs. I've got a 3-pack system that I use to get all of this great gear down to Chile and Argentina. The first let's talk about is the checked bag. I've used the Patagonia black hole duffel, the wheeled version. In that bag goes waders, boots, clothes, any tools that you're gonna be using, and also flies. The next thing I should talk about is how I get my rods and reels down. I am using the Fish Pond Dakota rod and reel case. This rod and reel case can easily carry 5-6 rods and reels, extra sunglasses, and leaders and tippet. So I kind of pack everything in this bag and carry it on with me. And lastly, my third piece of luggage, I'll always pack a waterproof backpack with me. This I carry on the airplane along with my rod and reel case. In this bag, I'll have an extra change of clothes, sunglasses, your book, your iPad, whatever you need for your travels. And then when I get to my destination, having a backpack that is waterproof is a huge bonus. Another essential piece of gear for your trip down to Patagonia is a good set of sunglasses. And actually, you really should bring a backup as well. Right now, I'm fishing the Smith Guide's Choice in a bronze mirror. I find that lens to be a great all-around lens for changing conditions, which does happen quite a bit down in Chile. My backup pair will usually be an igniter low light lens for that day where the clouds are stacked in and it might be a little rainy. Definitely pack 2 pairs. Definitely bring them in your carry-on bag. Last but not least, let's talk about some must-haves and some nice-to-haves on a trip down to South America to fly fish. Really, I'm talking about accessories here, things to remember and things to definitely put on your packing list. I carry one of these little travel pouches from Fish Pond. This kind of lives in my backpack that we just talked about. This has got a little bit of everything in it, but some things that you've got to remember. Floatant. A lot of dry fly fishing to be had down in Chile and Argentina. Good floatant from Loon goes a long way to keep your flies upright. A good pair of Hemos that you can do a little bit of everything with. I like these Umpqua River Grip Hemos in bright colors so you don't lose them. Another thing that people don't usually think about is a good sunglass cleaner. Being able to sight fish for trout in Chile and Argentina is a big deal, and being able to see through your sunglasses is a bonus for sure. Sunscreen. We might not be any closer to the sun down in Chile as we are here in Denver, Colorado, but you are out in the elements all day, every day. Having a good sunscreen option that you can put in your pocket to reapply at lunchtime is a huge bonus. And thank you so much for joining us. For more videos like this, tying videos, tips, tricks, join us on our YouTube channel. Give us a like and a subscribe and tune in. This has been Blake at Anglers All Fly Shop in Littleton, Colorado. Over and out.